Good afternoon to the viewers of the live stream. Whether you're watching live or after it saves as a live stream. This morning we got a very big indicator. And I actually made the video, but I'm not posting it until tomorrow, which is pretty interesting. Oh, they did copyright my video with the stream. What a bum. Welcome to another live stream. We got Vegeta, Richard, Knights of Insomnia, JK Rolling, Michael Berry, Bobby Fritz, Moonwolf, Camel Blue, Bobby, Yes, Cardenas, Whale Talk. I'm just gonna start the stream, man. We're getting close. We are very close. It really puts it in perspective when you look at it like this. When I saw this morning, man, it's even worse than this one. Like, we're so flat right now. We have to be getting Bollinger Band prints. It has to be probably this week. Oh my. Yeah, it's coming. I don't see us doing this for that much longer. I don't see us doing it for that much longer. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks max. Which that lines us up with our August, right? 3 weeks from now is August 3rd. That's 301 days. The economy is booming. Yeah, I know. That's why I think it's going to be a V recovery. Yeah, unemployment's going down too. The economy is booming. That's why I think it's going to be a V recovery, man. Yeah, I mean, look, we've got historic unemployment levels. The economy is booming, that's for sure. I think it's going to be a V recovery. And then maybe the next bear market will be the recession. So anyway, the big sell signal we got, gentlemen. We got a 2-week red dot on the TQQQ. I can't believe it. But we actually got it. I didn't think they would give it to us, but they did. Look, November of 2025, January 2025, July of 2024, March of 2024. Every major correction Bitcoin had, this thing marked, brother. I guess technically you didn't get this one. This one was not marked. I would say this red dot called for this crash. But I just find it fascinating that where we're looking for a crash, now we're starting to get confirmation signals. This is what I was hoping for. I was hoping that the market was going to give us the path and give us the directions that we need to take on the path. And it's not a perfect signal, but it called the bear market in 2021. It called the crash in May, and it let you know in February, prepare for impact. Now, one of these has to be wrong. I think you could argue this one didn't really help because the crash had already occurred, but you still made a lower low. So if you want to mark this one, I wouldn't say bullish, but I would say neutral. Because we went down in May and we went significantly lower than that. We went from 36,000 down to 31,000. That's still 20%. All right. So it's pretty legit, man. Like I like it. Oh yeah, baby. We got it in September of 2018 too. I didn't see that before. Yes, let's go. I didn't see that one before. All right. It's not perfect, but that's big, man. That's big. I wrote it down in my notepad in June. It said, check for red dots. So this morning I looked and I realized that we got one. We got a red dot. Let me see what else I wrote down. I think that's it. I think. Wait, this is new. Watch for 5-day QQQ MACD change. Yeah, this one's new. We did change to red on the indicator though. We didn't get high enough to get a dot. Um, oh, the MACD is getting close. Yeah, it might even turn red. I think we're getting new candles this week. I think it takes, you need a new day to start. That's why we're not getting a candle. This is about to turn red too. It turned red in November and it turned red in January and it turned red in July and it turned red in March. March and July, you can't say bear market, but you could definitely say Bitcoin had a correction. I think we're on the cusp of a correction again. Daily Super Guppy marks color change. Oh, Daily Super Guppy color change marks capitulation. Let's see. Oh, we don't have that yet. Yeah, we don't have that yet. Watch for 7-week red dot. Yeah, we didn't get it. We didn't get a candle, so we're not gonna know until Monday if we get a 7-week red dot. When the VIX hits 30 to 40, the bottom is in process. 8-day MACD, yeah, this is the bottom. I made a little list. Oh, here it is. 3-week red dot on SPY. Yeah, I didn't even check 3-week. Probably not. Yeah, no red dot on the 3-week. Emerging markets has one though. Hold on a second. Hold on now. Hold on now. Go on now. Emerging markets has a red dot. Last time was March. Time before that was December. Doesn't mean we have to go down, but we did go down in December. We also went down in 2018. Could be something to monitor. I wouldn't say that it's bullish, that's for sure. Russell? Nothing on the Russell. What about this? Yeah, this doesn't have it. Got one on SOXL, nothing on Tesla. I think we got the monthly on yet. Oh, no, we don't. We did. There's no monthly dot. Or maybe we have to wait till the month. Maybe it was on NVIDIA. Yeah. Oh, there's no red dots on the monthly yet. The most we got is 2 weeks. We'll see if it goes away. But that's the start. The crack in the armor. The chink in the armor, as they say. We got a weekly dot? Didn't even make it that high. What about 10-day? That's a good one. Not on the 10-day. Oh, we do have a 10-day dot. Yeah, I think we're getting there, gentlemen. I think we're getting there. Again, it's not perfect, but the fact that most of these red dots do have a correction associated with them, right? You obviously had the bear market in 2021. You did have a big crash in September of 2021. There was a big crash in May for Bitcoin. This indicator printed in April. There was a decent crash in September, but I think it was too late to print. So we'll mark this as a fake print. We'll make it yellow. There was no crash in February. There was a little crash in February, if you remember. That's where some of the coins... Oh, that was where, what's it called? What's that shit called? MicroStrategy topped out in February. Don't forget that. Obviously, you had the COVID crash. And you had the bear market. Yeah, this is interesting, man. You got a red dot at the top for the stock market, but Bitcoin was doing the same thing it's doing now. It was just doing nothing. I really, I really think we're about to go down when this relief rally is done, man. I do. And I finally found a chart to prove what or not prove, but display what I'm trying to tell you. This is beautiful, man. This right here tells me we're getting ready to go down. The only way we don't go down is if it's different this time. And it's never been different this time. And this chart depicts what I'm trying to say with the bullish divergence. The people that are saying bullish divergence, they're leaving out the fact that the RSI topped all the way back in spring of 2024. And you see how we just keep making lower highs after lower highs after lower high after lower high. That happens in every bear market. If it was a bull market, we'd be making higher highs. Now, you could argue, well, that's not true because this was a lower high and this was still a bull market. Yeah, but as we already said, how many coins topped out in March of 2024 and the rest of them topped out over here? Only Bitcoin, BNB, Ethereum, and a handful of coins went up back here. Most of the coins topped here and here. So we're going to use this for the bull market, because when this does finally make a higher high, we're going to know it's a bull market. And we're going to know that when we see it erupting, that's where you should start getting out. Because even though the 4-year cycle says the top is over here, the real top for people like us is back here. And maybe the second one. Because MSTR topped on this one. Yeah, that's interesting. Even though Bitcoin's peak was in April, the MVRV topped in February. But every bear market, you make lower highs until it goes negative. And you see how right before you go negative, you kind of just like bounce around a little bit, and then it goes down to the bottom. Kind of bounce around a little bit, then it goes down to the bottom. Kind of bounce around a little bit, and then it goes down to the bottom. Dude, look at what we're doing, chat. We're bouncing around. I'm telling you, I think the next move down is going to send us down here. Every single bear market results in a red MVRV. And the only mathematical possible way for it to go negative is to go below the realized price. So we got to go down there, in my opinion. There's no escaping it. You know, in the movies where they have the walls closing in on each other? That's what this is. The walls are closing, and it's only a matter of time before we spit down to the bottom. Now, if you could find out the bottom, we can see we hit a 76 negative MVRV here. We hit a 7. Oh, wow. We hit 7 in 2018. We hit 0.5. All right, so we got to try and calculate. It's definitely shrinking. You went from 0.5 to 0.7 to 0.76. Oh, no, it's not shrinking. This one was technically lower. Yeah, so we can at least get to 0.8. So I don't know what price that is. How would you get to 0.8? I guess we'd have to go. I think we got to go at least 20% below the realized price. We got to go to 40,000. I don't think there's a way around it. Oh, the realized price is starting to fall now. It was at 54, now it's at 53, and now it's at 52.9. It is going down. And I noticed that every time it goes down, that's when you start getting close to capitulation and the bottom. Right? It definitely went down, but then it made another high. Here is where it kind of started grinding down without bouncing anymore. I think we're in here somewhere. You see how it stops going up? Yeah, we're getting close, man. We're getting very close. We have to go below 52,000 at least. Oh wait, wait, we can calculate this. We did this last time. If we're at 1.21, so we're 0.2 points away from 1. Because the MVRV hits 1 when we're at the realized price. You see how the realized price, we went below it and then it changes to red on the bottom? So we know for certainty, in order for the bear market to complete, we must go down to the realized price. There's no other way around it, unless it's different this time. So if we usually bottom at -8 or -7, that's 0.25 points away from the realized price. And right now, we're 2 points away from the realized price. Well, how high are we from the realized price? 53,000 is the realized price. And we're 20% above the realized price. And we just said that we need to at least go to -8. The last bear market was -76. One before that was -7. Right? Yes, that's correct. -8, -7.6. So let's just say we need to go to -8. That's 0.2 points away. So if we're currently 2 points away on the upside at 1.21, and we're 20% above the realized price, then going 20% below the realized price would put you at 0.8. So we should bottom out somewhere around here between 39 and 45. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, man. But that's based on the MVRV. That's it. That's not using anything else. Well, it's also based on the realized price. Now, we already ran the same metric. Let me make note of that, actually. We already ran the same metric. Right, but here's the thing, chat. The realized price goes lower when we go down. Not by much, but every percent counts. So here the realized price went from 5,000. It fell by 10%, man. That's a big drop. Here the realized price went from 24,000 to... Yeah, look, the realized price also falls by 10%. Here it went from 338 to 300. Yeah, so if the realized price falls by, even if it falls by 5%, that means it's going to fall by 2,000. So 20% of 52,000, technically it's going to be 5.3 thousand, which puts it at 49.9, 49.8. So 20% of 49,000 is what? Like 9 something? Yeah, we might be going to 40,000, man. I think that's where we're going. I believe bottom should be around 40,000. And that's like conservative. That's fucked up. A conservative bottom is 40,000 or 42,000. That's assuming all on-chain data repeats, right? We're assuming that Bitcoin is a quote-unquote simulated asset, which, not for nothing, but as of right now, it seems to be that's what's happening. We topped in October. We topped in November. We topped in December. The bottom was in December. The bottom was in November. Man, if the bottom's in October again, Maybe we got to stop fading the data, man. I mean, this is telling me that we're going down. There's no question, in my opinion. Question is how low. And I think we discussed this. IBIT goes underwater. IBIT goes underwater at... I'm surprised I didn't take a picture of that. I didn't even like copy the website or anything. I don't remember where I got that information from. What is the name of the website? I can't think of it. What is the name of the website that's like the OG on-chain metric stuff? It's not CoinGlass, it's something. Does anybody remember? That was the website I think it was on. What's the name of the original on-chain website? Glassnode, that's what it is. Yes. I can't believe I didn't write that down. This. Look. $39,400. That's where the very first people bought the ETF. I think this hypothesis could play out. If we went... Oh no, it says it right there. All ETF cost basis, 40,765. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's tiny. But that means that if IBIT goes below, or excuse me, Bitcoin goes below 40,000, by default, no matter who bought the ETF at any time, any institution, they're underwater. I really think we got to go to 40,000, man. That's it. Man, if we really go down there, it's going to be a freaking generational opportunity, man. Right? Because this came out January of 2024 and bottomed at the end of January. And we were bearish at the end of January. Yeah, it came out right here. Boom. This is the bottom right here, baby. I think. I think something similar happened in 2023 as well. Look, you had that last correction before we went to the moon. And look at where the bottom was. Ba-bam! I think that's the bottom, baby. Baby, talk to me, baby. What are we doing? I think that's the bottom. Did this also happen in 2015 or whatever year this is? Baby! I think the move, right? This was alt season. This was alt season. Wait, we're really cooking right now, like steaming hot, right out of the oven. The first thing that pops into my head is the reverse Cutler RSI. Look, this guy's cooking up some cookies. Get in while you can. Look. So, before we go up, before we go parabolic, we have a little section of chop. Right? You see how the RSI started printing yellow dots up here? This was euphoria right here. This moment from December of 2020 to here was euphoria. And here's proof. We add MSTR to the chart. That is your evidence, clear as day. Euphoria was from November of 2020 to February of 2021. If you want to say May, technically it's April, that's fair. If we go to 2022, we hit euphoria in December of 2023. This was where all the money was. Right? The same thing happened. Well, I guess technically you would. Well, we can't say euphoria was in December of 2016 because it wasn't. The color RSI didn't make it on the weekly stock, on the weekly. It did it on the 2-week. I wanted to use the 2-week and the monthly, but I can't. It doesn't paint the picture I'm trying to show you because you can't see the candles. So you're gonna have to stick with me here, okay? So I'm just gonna mark what I'm trying to tell you and then I'll show you. So before we went up for euphoria, we had one little correction here. One would argue that the euphoria technically started in October, but it really started in December. If I look at Bonk, remember when Bonk did a 100x? When was that? Was that in November or was that in December? Should be MEXC. Okay, it was in November. So it was at the end of October. And the peak was in December. So this was where euphoria started. So it was late October, November, December. So we go to Bitcoin. And we say euphoria started right at the end of October. So here. This is the tip of the iceberg right here. And the Bitcoin ETF, which you can even see MicroStrategy started pumping here as well. So the ETF launched right here, and you had a little correction from December to February, and then Bitcoin rallied to a new all-time high, right? Bitcoin rallied to a new all-time high right after the ETF came out. So I would really argue that the Bitcoin euphoria was here. the rally back to the all-time high. So right before Bitcoin rallies to the all-time high, you had a correction. This was last time, so I'm going to mark this. Then we go back here. You could argue as well that Bitcoin had a new all-time high right here. And this correction could be compared to this one, in my opinion. Because if you bought your Dogecoin here, or MSTR, this was right before we went vertical. Same thing in 2000 and whatever year this is. If you bought your MSTR right here, it was right before we went vertical. So we had, this is a little different actually, because you had the correction at the all-time high. In 2024, you had the correction before the all-time high. Well, we had a correction at the all-time high here too, but what I'm referring to specifically is you had a little window to get in before the bull run to the new high. And this is where I think the bottom could be. And this was where the bottom was in 2022. And in 2017, you had one final correction before you went up to the new, not the new high, before you went up to the peak. We can't use MSTR because MSTR didn't exist, but we can use something that existed every time, and I think that would paint the picture of what I'm trying to say. So again, if you would have bought Doge right here, where this correction was, you would have caught alt season. You see that? There was one more Bitcoin crash before the top, where everything went straight up. That was where the bottom was in 2018. In 2023, technically you could have bought Doge here, yes, but if you bought Doge right here, it was right before we went up for a new Bitcoin all-time high. And again, if you bought Doge right here, where this correction was, it was right before it went parabolic. And this is where the bottom was. And once again, you could argue this was where you should have bought Doge, but I don't think 27K, I think 27K is too low. I can't say 27K. This is the next closest area. This buying Doge right here is right before it went parabolic. Right before Bitcoin went for a new all-time high. Right? So in every market cycle, to wrap up the soliloquy, there's a period right before Bitcoin erupts into euphoria and the shitcoins bottom. So if you bought Doge in September of 2017, you caught alt season. If you bought Doge in December of 2020, which was where this chop was, you caught alt season. Now this one's a little bit controversial, but I don't think Bitcoin's going to 27,000. That's too low. If it goes there, then hallelujah, but I don't see that happening. I think this one is more realistic. And it was right before Doge went up and right before Bitcoin went back to the top. Now, some might argue we're already there. Look at where this correction is, and we went up for a new all-time high. That's what people might be arguing. The bottom is already in. We're at 63,000. Some people might be arguing, well, we just have to go down to the bottom of this range. Which, with the logic I just told you, technically that's fair. The problem with that is the realized price is below this, meaning mathematically we must go below 53,000. And the next cluster of price action is this. I'm really starting to think 40,000 is the bottom. Everything we just discussed says we must go below the realized price. And this cluster of price action is above the realized price, meaning we have to break through this. And the next cluster of price action is this, between 48 and 39. This is the bottom, I think. And as I was going to say with the Cutler RSI, it doesn't reach on the weekly. But if you raise the time frame up, it does. So it's like the bottom is right before it turns yellow. That's what I think. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I think. The bottom in 2020 whatever was here. The thing turned yellow. The bottom in whatever year this is was here. The thing turned yellow. I think the bottom should be here. That's what I'm thinking, man. That's what I'm thinking. The fact that it lines up with the realized price as well. Like it does. It literally does. Look. What about this one? I don't know if, yeah, this one there was nothing. Can't use it. It's definitely speculation, but I'm gonna cling to that speculation. I think that's where we're going. I think that's where we're going. That's what I think. Good afternoon. That's what I think we're going. Jake for 5 says hearing things about MIU. I appreciate the 5. I appreciate the 5. MIU. Still buying shitcoins, huh? Still buying shitcoins. Hearing things of MIU. 7. LNF. Yeah, that's this one. Hearing things, he says. Hearing things about MIU. Looks like it's getting ready to rug any moment now. Definitely a gamble. I would say it is a gamble, but all gambles have the opportunity to run. I think a break over 75 should trigger a rally to 17. A break over 17 should trigger a rally to 26. Now you get stuck at 26 a fourth time, it's going to get rugged. So we can speculate that it will remain bearish as long as it's below 75. All right. Bearish below 75, very bearish below 55. Gamble on the table once it breaks over 75. There's no ceiling because it's a 53,000 market cap. There's no floor because there's 26,000 liquidity. Gamble at its best. Best of luck. I appreciate the 5. I appreciate the 5. If you look at the past Bitcoin bull markets, they started when the dominance was at a low point, so Bitcoin goes to new bull market while over at 60%. Well, that I'm not sure, honestly. Maybe the Bitcoin dominance does go back up. Maybe it breaks out. Yeah, I don't even know what you just said, but it's not even true. That's the problem, man. You guys are chatting. The last bull market in 2019 started right here at 56%, and we're at 59%. I don't even know why I fell for that. That was a good one. That was a good one, man. Thanks for playing. You got me. You almost got me, though. I caught it, though. In 2019, the bull market started right here. At 55%. We're at 59%. The problem was this occurred in a bear market, or when we had the bear market, the dominance never went up. That's the problem. So in this bull market, it is going to go up again, and then maybe we can get alt season. Maybe. But I'm not betting on maybe anymore because it cost me everything. Propaganda was denied. I think this is it. I think we're ready. I think we're ready. I'm thinking one more spike, and then that's it. Think about it. If we do this exact move, I already know when we get down here, the people that said the bottom was here and here are going to say the bottom is here too. If we do this exact move, it's September. Now we have 30 days to go down to 40,000. But that's how long it takes. It takes less than that. We get a bounce, and then boom. This is it. Get accumulation. Bull market starts in February, March. And that shit lines up with the short-term hold to realized price, because the short-term hold to realized price is going to cross the long-term or the regular realized price. And when that does, you get close to the bottom, bull or bear end, and bear end. Then bull starts when you break over. Sorry, the bull starts when the orange crosses the blue, which that's what this is. Yeah. I think you go bullish in spring. I think people that are saying the bull market's going to be quick, I think they're going to be wrong. I think we go down bottoms in October or November, and we're going to sit down there November, December, January, February. You're gonna have a lot of time. You're not gonna have a lot of time to buy the exact bottom, but you got a lot of time. That's what I think. Daily bearish propaganda. This is it, guys. I'm ready. I am actually ready. I'm ready to take the chance of a lifetime. We have everything's ready to go. We've got everything ready to go, man. Maybe we only get to 68K. But if this is going to play out, technically we're in the magnet zone, so we should just go straight up. If we just start teleporting to the upside, we know the Moonboy chart works. I kind of hope it does, but we're at that point now where it should. We should at least get 68K. And we still have 2 weeks till the FOMC meeting. We have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We got a whole week and a half. Thank you for not looking at OXT. Yeah, I saw OXT did a 10x. Loopring did a similar move, not as big. But it's gambling, you know? Who would have put their money in OXT when it was down there? Nobody. Gambling. There's no more gambling for me, Mr. Bond. My name's Bond. Gambling Bond. My name's Bond. Government Bond. Alright, do we have anything else? Do we have anything else? How's the tether dominance? Yeah, we discussed this multiple times. Whenever the tether dominance breaks out, it makes a big move. We haven't broken out yet. We're missing the final move. When the tether dominance breaks out, it makes a big move. Not to mention, these all correspond with major crashes. COVID, bear market bottom. What do we have here? Yeah, here's another one. We have yet to have expansion on the tether dominance. It's coming, man. Like, think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Do you really expect that tether dominance has been climbing the whole existence? Now, for no reason, it's just going to go the other way? I sent you PayPal. Did you? Did you, mighty? Arg, mighty. Digimighty. Shiver me timbers. Arg mighty. Yes, he did. There we go, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Mr. Meow, keeping the lights on. You guys got to be more like Mr. Meow. Mr. Meow's keeping the lights on. Now we got to get Chris to use PayPal. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Someone's got to teach Chris how to use PayPal. I appreciate the 10 from Mr. Meow. If you guys haven't, check out Meow's TCG. You get all the premium dueling content on YouTube. Dueling's a lost art. We're trying to revive it with Project Meow. Moving the goalposts to February, March. No, the bottom should be this year in October or November. The bull market should start in February or March, as in the real bull market. Like, if you don't get in, you're gonna miss the boat. Look at PayPal stock. Yeah, but PayPal sucks. They're getting bought out, I heard. SMPL in the food sector beat earnings. I know this guy's not shilling a food stock. Why do I always sound surprised? Because I'll take free money, man. Very hard to get free stuff in today's world. It's tough to get free stuff, man. I'm surprised because I'm appreciative. That's why. Maybe if you learned a thing or two about gratitude, you'd be surprised more as well. No, I'm just kidding. Mr. Meow, I appreciate the 10. Oh, you're slacking, man. I don't know if you already had this. But you're slacking, man. You're supposed to have your other channel on the home page so people can click on it. You got to go to your custom channel settings and you got to add your other channel. It should be right here on the bottom. Oh, that's my piece of evidence. That's my piece of not financial advice for the 10. Your other channel should be right on the top, on the front page. You think the shallower last bull market? Nope. Yeah, the next bull market is going to be even more shallow. And again, maybe I'm wrong, but there's no evidence to suggest that we're not going to go negative. The bear market does get shallower each time, but not. We already took that into consideration when we came up with 40,000. Do you guys think 40,000 is too low, or am I being reasonable? I think what we went over today is pretty nice. Makes sense. The only other option is 27,000, but that's fucking way too low, man. That's way too low. Holy shit. Yeah, that would be the equivalent of this. I think that's too low. Yeah, that's too low. Because look, in 2019, you had that correction here. And we had ours here. Yes, yes, yes. Amaze, amaze, amaze. You see how the MVRV stopped going up in the middle of 2023 and then it went sideways? You see how in 2019 the MVRV went up and then it started going sideways, down? So if COVID didn't happen, we might have turned bullish here. There's always that chance. But COVID did happen, so it doesn't matter what would have happened. We didn't bottom at 12,000. We bottomed at 20 to 17. Actually, I think it was 15. Holy shit. This is too low. 26,000. I think 39, 38 is what. This is assuming Bitcoin is going to do what it always does. I can't say that it will, but it should. 34 is your 618 retracement. That's like ultra fucking bearish. And I don't like using the F-bomb anymore. I have been lately, but because I'm trying to use the emphasis. 34,000 is like, holy shit. Did you guys see what Bitcoin just did? That's bearish. But I think I wouldn't bet my life that it can't happen. Because it's definitely possible. But that's where I would draw the line. That's just too low. Yeah, 72%. I mean, it's definitely not impossible, but I would say that's too low. It's not impossible, though, because look, 77 to 72. This one was 83, so it fell by 6%. If we went 6%, it would be 71,000. Yeah, 36K. I think 40,000 is a nice plump number. That anything below 40,000, I think would be the same thing as 4,000 in 2000 and whatever year this is. Like if you bought in at 40,000, sorry, if you bought in at 4,000, you're kind of like in the green. But I don't think that's the case because I believe this was the realized. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, never mind. I think this is the same concept. What if everyone piles in at 38 saying they nailed the bottom and the whales take us to 26 for max pain? It's not going to matter. I learned to say nothing's impossible as long as it's reasonable. But I think 26,000 is just like 2,600. It's just too low. It's 26,000. You know why 26,000 is not happening, in my opinion? Because you would have a bigger bear market than last time. And we have evidence that says the bear markets are getting smaller. So I don't think we would have a smaller bull market and a larger bear market. I think 26,000 is too low. It has to be smaller than 77%. So anything under 30,000 is too bearish. In my opinion, again, I'm not trying to act like a professor. I'm still figuring it out as I go, but I think anything below 30,000 is too bearish. 31,000 would be my absolute. That's it. That's the floor. Like even here, coincidentally, there's support here. I would say that's my 100x long, 31,000. I don't think we could go below that. It lines up with diminished returns. There's support. I think 31,000 is too bearish. I'm not waiting to buy in at 31,000. I would rather buy in early and not miss the bull run. But people are doing that now when there's still another 40% down. And the problem with that is it's 40% down, but if you bought in here, it's 65% back up. So not only are you going to lose 40%, you're missing out on a 65% gain, which turns out to be like astronomical. Because if you bought one Bitcoin here, then you go down, so now you're down 30K, then you go back up, now you're neutral. But if you put 65K in here and you go up 65%, now you're at 90K or 100K. And that only grows more because down here you have 1.5 Bitcoin, and every time Bitcoin goes up, you're getting more gains. I don't think DCAing here is a good idea, in my opinion. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying I'm going to be right. But according to historical data, this is not a good, it's not a good idea for me to DCA at 65,000. Not financial advice, of course. This chart says that we're getting ready to go down to the bottom. This chart says, it's the same chart. This chart says we're getting ready to go down to the bottom. I think we're getting ready to go down to the bottom. I think this is the last rally. I wonder, is there a nupal on this? There should be. Yeah, there is. Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. Yeah, this chart is better. This website's better because you can do long-term and you can do long-term and short-term. This also paints a great picture. Look at where we're at. The rally's almost done. This should be it. We should just get this. Look, at this point, we went down to the bottom. At this point, we had a little bit longer to go down to the bottom. At this point, we had a teeny bit longer to go down. Man, we're getting close. Ay, caramba. We are getting close. We are. And we have the sell signals. We have the sell signals to back it up. How's the super trend? Did we break? Oh, what about the super guppy? Oh, maybe that was the bottom. Yeah, I haven't been using the super guppy lately after I got duped by the red arrow. But it's still a useful indicator. Let's see, what do we got on the 3-week? We got any information? Oh, I do have information, actually. Look, the EMAs are starting to turn gray. The last time that happened, we were here. Oh, maybe we're waiting for a blue arrow, yeah? Yeah. See, in 2018, the gray on the bottom means the bottom was in. But last time it meant that we were getting ready to go. We bounced and then we went down. Ah, this is interesting. Here you came down to the last band. Here you came down to the last band. Here you actually went below the band. Here we didn't touch the last band. So we have to form the bottom below these bands. Yeah, but this is a good indicator too for the top. See how once it turned gray, the top was in? I think it turned gray here briefly. Yeah, I think this is it, guys. What else we got? What else we have? Let's see. Oh, we're hitting this. Yeah, but this says we can come into the middle. Yeah, even this is saying 70 to 66K. Yeah. Top should be in here between 66 and 70. That's what it looks like. Zefreshon. That's what it looks like. Oh, we're about to get a 5-week bear. Zefreshon, Zefreshon. Where's my little napkin? Oh. We got a 5-week bear here and we crashed down to the bottom. We got a 5-week bear here and we crashed down to the bottom. I think we're gonna need a 5-week bear. It's almost there. I think it's almost time. I think it's almost time, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the most. Oh, wait, we got some bearish propaganda. If this thing can go below $100, it should print a bear signal. Oh no, it's gonna take a while. Yeah, it's not gonna print for a while. Maybe this one will print. Weekly bear signal. Oh, that could actually help us. What do you guys think? If we can get a weekly bear on the semiconductors, it called the crash in 2018, it called the crash in 2022. It even called the crash in 2015, Anon. No crash in 2024, though. But I don't think this is going to cross for a little while. Unless we have a 4... Do we have a 4-day bear? No, we don't even have a 4-day bear. Oh, it's actually not even different. They're in the same spot. We have a 3-day bear? Not yet. Do we have a 2-day bear? No, we don't even have a 2-day bear. Oh, we're about to, though. All right, we're getting there. The cracks are starting to show, that's for sure. The cracks are starting to show. Where's the big show? Boom, 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 boom. All right, do we have any sell signals on the super trend? We have a 3-day sell. We have a 4-day sell. We have a 5-day sell. No 6-day sell. Yeah, that's because they know. They know if it goes any lower than this, it's fucked. Yeah, that's a good job by the stock boys. Stock boys did well with that one, Anon. If it goes any lower, we're fucked. That's why they said, no, 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 buy in, hurry. All right, we got to check this. We can use weekly, probably even better. Oof! Oof! No, that's brain rot. Oof! Oof! I just saw that meme or that kid on the playground that popped into my algorithm. Oof! We have a weekly sell on the super trend. It doesn't mean it has to go down, but I don't know if I would say that it's bullish. I think the 6-day is better. There's no false prints. Well, there's a false print in 2019. Yeah, I think this is better. We're going to use this. I'll mark that down in my notebook. 6-day sell signal triggers a crash. Oof. Yeah. Oh, well, technically this one wasn't a crash either, but it's been present in every bear market. Yeah, they oh wow, we bounced off the 8-day too, man. Dude, if we go any lower, hold on, let me explore this. Oof. Let's do 9. Yeah, let's do 9. Let's do the 9-day. Yeah, let's do that. Oof. Yeah, let's do that. Is there a bear market back here too? Yeah, yeah, let's go. Dude, I'm such a happy bear. Let's check this. When we get a 10-day sell signal on SOXL, which means it has to go below $120. It doesn't mean we have to go down, but it greatly increases the probability that we do. Considering even in 2010 we went 11 we went down. Yeah, we are so close to the freaking bear market. This one is urgent. Urgent care. This is urgent care. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. This is urgent. The reason I'm going to respect it is because every single time Bitcoin moved below the realized price, the 10-day super trend was present. That is an undeniable statement. You want proof? Here's your proof. Here's your proof, big boy. Yeah, I'll use the good indicator just for you guys. Just for today, class, we'll use this. Just for today, class. Hello? Just for today, class. Just for today, class. Oh, it's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Yeah, it's not gonna work because this is a Bitcoin indicator, but I have SOXL on the chart. You're just gonna have to trust me, bro. You're just gonna have to trust me, bro. Look, you had July of 2011, October of 2014, October of 2018, February of 2022. If we go to the times we hit a negative nupal, October of 2014, November of 2018, June of 2022. This is another missing piece of the puzzle. The semiconductors breaking 120 doesn't mean we're going to sub 53,000 now, but it means prepare. Prepare your battle stations. Because this broke in October, we went down in November. This broke in October, we went down in December. This broke in July, we went down in August. We don't have it yet. But I don't think it's time to go down yet. That's why we bounced. But man, we're knocking. We are knocking. I just had a bazinga moment. What about the super trend for the VIX? Hold on. Nothing. It didn't even. It, yeah, it already turned green back in June. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We got the buy signal here. The top was in. We got the buy signal here. The next top was in. We got the buy signal here, but it was too late. We need something heavy. Something. Oh my gosh, we can't. What are we looking for? Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. What am I looking for? I can't remember here. We're looking for a buy signal, but we already have them. So it's not gonna work. And we can't. Yeah, this indicator doesn't work for the VIX. That sucks. It was a good try. Oh, what about the super guppy? Super duper guppy. What do you got for us, class? Super guppy on the VIX? Anything interesting? Green. Green. How do we feel about a green super guppy on the VIX? I don't know if that's going to help us. The bottom already formed. Maybe we got to lower the time frame. Let's go 4 hour. Oh, Bobby. Damn it, Bobby. That could work. 4 hour green VIX. Oh my God, this is back in 2000. Oh no, it's 20. Yeah, it is 2025. It's not perfect. I think it's too small. It's too small of a time frame. Try a hop. I think we found our answer. 8 hour. Wait, we might be onto something here. You guys don't get excited when we're bearish? Why does it always have to go up all the time? Dude, I'll admit being bearish in a bear market is much more fun than being bullish in a bear market. I don't know. I think the 8 hour, the green super guppy on the 8 hour might be the answer. Not perfect. It turned bullish in 20. No, we did go down back here. We went up in 2024. Yeah, we went up in 2023 as well. No, but I don't know. I think it's when it turns green for the first time. Maybe the 8 hour is not as good. Try 10 hour. I want something that has no false prints or as little false prints as possible. Did I already try the 12 hour? We could, okay, we could do 12 hour. Hold on, he's cooking some cake, baking a cake. Just give him some time. We could do 12 hour. 12 hours gray doesn't mean anything. Green means you're max bearish. The problem is when we turned green here, the bottom, I don't know if I would say the bottom was in. We went from 72,000 down to 62,000 when the VIX turned green. Yeah, this is pretty legit to me. The VIX turned green. We went from 89 to 75. Yeah, you want to use 12-hour VIX Super Guppy? How do we feel? 14-hour? Better? You're not bearish when you're hungry. Better? That's the same. Same. What's bigger than 14? 16? Looks like it's all the same. Yeah, I think the 1 day 20-hour? Are they all I think they're all the same. Yeah, I think 1 day little white boys and little white girls will hold hands, little black boys and little black girls. I think the 1 day is too high. But it's definitely not something to ignore. That's what I would say. It's not something to ignore. I'll put it in my note. What about the 2 day? Yeah, it was too late. I mean, I should jot it down though. Wait, what if we're looking at it wrong? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Look, for some reason, I don't know why. Doesn't matter how hard you try. Look, for some reason, whenever the VIX prints a red web, Bitcoin has a relief rally. And then we go down. What do you think about that? We had a red web here. Bitcoin had a relief rally. Then we went down. We had a red web here. Bitcoin had a relief rally, and then we went down. Now we have another red web, and we're getting a relief rally. The problem why I don't want to use this is because it's supposed to be bullish when it does that, which is what it was in the past. I think we're good on the 12-hour. I think a green super guppy on the 12-hour. That's what I think we're looking for. We're looking for a green super guppy on the 12-hour. That'll do the trick. Yeah. We're looking for a 12. We're looking for a green super guppy on the 12-hour. Which we're not there yet, but we're above. So it's getting close. Five hours already blue. Wait a second. What about... No, this took too long. Yeah, this took too long. What about blue on the 9-hour? Does that help? Blue on the 9-hour? No, I think that's too deep. Super Guppy's not that useful. Oh, wait a second. What about if we want to use it for a bottom? We got a shot at a bottom. What about the Super Guppy for a bottom? No, I think we'll just play it safe. Yeah, Super Guppy sucks. After. After. Yeah, Super Guppy sucks. Alright, so we're just gonna keep it linear on the VIX, honestly. I don't think there's a reason to overcomplicate it. If you just buy in, NFA, of course, but if you just buy in when it's at 50, you're pretty much buying the bottom. But we're due. I think we're due for a spike, don't you? We're not making a downtrend anymore. We've been making an uptrend. Yeah, I think we're due. It's coming, you greedy bastards. I think it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. I think it's coming. Everybody's so greedy. I've never seen so much greed in my life. Let me know when he's reading messages again. Been in this nonsense since January 2018. Yeah, this is my first market cycle where Coinbase gets $0 from me. My last transaction on Coinbase was November of 2024. 5. No more am I being farmed by the crypto farm. You know, it's sad because I always knew the stock existed. I really did. I found it in 2019. And I just didn't pull the trigger because I bought Bitcoin Cash. But I can't blame myself because even if I would have bought regular Bitcoin, I still would have been better off. So I'm finally opening my eyes. If we get this correction, I am never buying crypto again. Because, like I said, man, I'm going to be a regular guy. I might even get a job. I'll go work at the supermarket, make an extra 20K a year. Dude, I could just put the money in and stop checking it. You know? If I were 18 years old, I'm getting a job at the supermarket and I'm getting an SOXL starter pack. And in 10 years, I'm a millionaire. It's that simple. Now, I guess it's not going to be that simple forever because at some point we have to have an economic downturn and we're due for one. But people have been saying that since I was in high school. That shit ain't ever coming, man. Look, at the end of 2016 till now, it's up 100x. Which means if I just DCA'd every week. Holy shit. No, seriously. It's time, guys. Because you know what? We could look back and say we missed it, but in 20 years, it's going to be up here. Because 20 years ago, it was down here. It wasn't even around. Yeah, there's going to be ups and downs. The problem is, mom and pop told me to buy SPY. Well, my mom and pop didn't tell me shit, but it's just a saying, mom and pop. But we're degenerates. So we buy 3x. We get there 3 times faster. Yeah. Yeah. Where's my 5x ETF? They don't have them. DRX daily 1.5x. Yeah. Oh, they do have a 4x ETF. I forgot. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to be a degenerate piece of shit, you can get a 4x. Oh, it's an ETN. It's not even an ETF. Yeah. Yeah, you're better off buying semiconductors. This thing sucks. Does it pay a dividend? No. Yeah, the stock sucks. I bid and MSTR will be my breadwinners. I'm fine with a 5 to 7x. Yeah, 5 to 7x, man. That sounds like it should work. NFA. But we just have to have a different attitude. Like, our problem was we have to go all in shitcoins. We can have a safe portfolio and a rich portfolio, a gambling portfolio. Now, I have to admit, now that I'm listening to myself, this is what other YouTubers preached, but I always said I need 100x. So they were trying to help us all along, and we didn't want to listen. We had to buy whatever this is. Unbelievable. I guess maturing is realizing you know you're wrong, but change it before it's too late. Yeah. Did you guys... Oh, wait, I have another announcement. A lot of the shitcoins are making new lows. I don't know if you guys saw that. I'm not counting Loop Ring, because Loop Ring sucks, but... Well, maybe they're not making new lows, but they're about to. Look, ZBCN, which was supposed to cure everything, is making a new low. It's about to break the low. Remember the chat told me this coin's not going back down? You never fade the bear market, my friend. I learned that. There was another coin, this one, SEI. Fake SWI. That's what I call it, fake SWI. Getting ready to make a new low. Polkadot's very close to a low. These are the indicators that we're looking for. We're looking for Bitcoin to go up and the garbage to go down. Yeah. Look, down, down. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. It's almost time. You see how Bitcoin goes up and DOT goes down? Bitcoin goes up. Technically, DOT went up first, but then it went down after Bitcoin went up. This is exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for Bitcoin to go higher, take this high, and we're looking for Polkadot to go lower. You want to know the big thing we're looking for now that I'm speaking it into existence? We're looking for Coinbase to make a lower high and Bitcoin to make a higher high. Now, it's a big ask. If you're listening to me, whoever's watching after me, it's a big ask, but it's not impossible. We need to see Coinbase make a lower high. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's not impossible though. It would be nice if it does. It would be the cherry on the top of the cherry. They're actually doing what we asked. We're getting all the sell signals while Bitcoin doesn't move. We just need to see Coinbase make a lower high. I'm not sure it's going to happen. MSTR, they're giving it to us. Unless Whoa, that scared the shit out of me. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it's thundering. I don't know. It should make a lower high. I mean, in order for MSTR to come up here, it's $120. It's still a lower high. Bitcoin would have to be like 68,000. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a lower high on MSTR as well. Great Depression 2.0 happening at the end of the decade. Vegeta says, I highly doubt semi's going to run next time. China's going to flood the market with cheap semis. Yeah, but Vegeta, somebody taught me this. Okay, I had doubt just like you. But my problem my whole life has been, not my whole life, just in my stock life, my crypto life. My problem has always been I already know everything. You don't need to explain it to me. But somebody explained it to me very simply, and that's where I had my bazinga moment. The S&P 500 goes up forever because every time a new company surpasses a current company, it swaps its place with the current company. So SOXL will always go up, even if Chinese companies make their way in, because they'll just make their way into the ETF. For example, Taiwan Semiconductors. Now, I know Taiwan is not China in some people's eyes, and some people, I know that gets offended. Some people get offended when you say that. However you view Taiwan, Taiwan makes up 3% of this. So maybe Nvidia and AMD and Intel already pumped, but there's a Chinese stock down here that we can't see because these babushkas don't want us to see what it is. When that starts to increase in market cap, it's going to push this higher. That's what I learned. And again, we went down the rabbit hole yesterday with Mr. Chris. I can't say maybe it's different this time because I have no evidence of that. But every time since the beginning of time, since the inception of SOXL, every time the S&P bottomed, SOXL bottomed, and every time the S&P topped, if you measure the move, you got a 7.5x, you got a 10x, you got a 400% gain on this one. I'm not even going to measure COVID because holy shit, 17x. We're not going to use COVID. That's too bullish. Even here, you got an 8x. So according to my calculations, at minimum, you're guaranteed to get a 3 to 4x. At minimum, guaranteed. Maximum, probably a 10x. Now, this is over the course of 3 to 5 years. If it was going to be different, I don't know, because this one was fucking gnarly. This one was a 40x. I don't think you're going to get a 40x again. I think SOXL is going to return to norm, and it's going to do probably the norm, 7 to 10x. But, dude, I'm taking the 10x. If we can get to $50 and then it goes all the way back to 500, that's a 10x. And then I think it comes all the way back down again. But China companies never trade at a premium. Yeah, but you know what, man? If it's on the stock exchange, people are going to inflate the prices. Now, if your argument is it's going to be stocks that aren't in the semiconductor space and they're in another stock exchange, I still would say that the Americans have to buy something. Like, if your argument is that they're going to be stocks not listed on the, like Samsung, for example, I don't know if I believe that. Because if Americans don't have access to it, then they're going to buy something that competes with it, which is what they already did. I'm not saying semiconductors are the best place to go. I'm just saying that I've always followed this ETF, not even knowing what that meant. And it's just now the one time I don't I swear I bought 3,000 shares down here, but I sold them because I bought Miro and other garbage, which is fine because I ended up making the money I wanted to make, and then I lost it. If I would have bought and stayed in, technically I wouldn't have lost it. But you can't play hypotheticals. But I don't want to be saying the same thing in 5 years or 10 years when the shit is all the way up here and this is our last chance to get in. Because here's the thing, as I always say, man, if we already know what it's like to lose everything. Even if we diamond hand, you always win. The only time you lose is if we really have 2008, because then it's going to go like this, and then it's fucking GG. But we don't have to do that, because we're not being greedy. We get out when Bitcoin puts the top in. That's it. Even if you don't sell the exact top, that's fine. Stop being greedy. Even if you sold when Bitcoin topped here, you got 500% almost. That's a lot of fucking money. You know why it was never enough for us? Because we kept starting out with 5 grand. That's the fucking problem. We kept going to zero, starting over. Now, if you have 5 grand, I'm not saying that's not a lot of money. You could definitely change your life if you make the right plays. But 5 grand on SOXL, I don't know if you're going to change your life with that. But it's a start because you can DCA over time. But I'm trying to talk about this market cycle. I think if you have 5K now and you put it on SOXL and you get a 5 or a 10X, now you're talking. Now you got 50K. Then the next market cycle, now you're going to get $1 million or whatever it is, you know? But it's like, I never looked at it that way because my horizon was always tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. That was my Achilles heel. But now that I have entered a new era of life based on my age, I don't have that viewpoint. Because I know how fast it goes, and every time you say you need it tomorrow, tomorrow comes, you still have nothing. This may be the last ticket out. And the fact that we're getting sell signals right when we need them, I think is beautiful. Yeah. They should make a 3x DRAM too. But that's why I X the chat over and over, because you guys are smarter than I am. You're in the streets. Is the AI bubble just starting, or are we on the cusp of a revolution? I see the videos of the robots, but I don't see any robots in real life. The only robot I engage with is the Taco Bell one, and I don't even go to Taco Bell anymore. I think this is an ETF market where semis are going to rotate into crypto. Right, so you're betting on something that's never happened before. Again, I don't have an answer for that. I'm purely going based off of historical evidence because humans make the same mistakes often. And not even mistakes either. They make the same decisions often, rather. That's what I meant to say. I think we're on the cusp of an AI revolution. That's what I'm hoping for. Because I see all these people on Instagram have AI in their bio. I don't know what the fuck that means. But if this thing comes back to me, I could put AI Kingpin. No, I'm just kidding. AI enthusiast. AI propagandist. That's gonna be my fucking job description. AI propagandist. Oh, it's gonna be great, man. Food review, we demand food review. Yeah, one day soon, man. One day soon. I just found a semiconductor called Sky Helix. Yeah, I have to go now. I'm going to make some Yu-Gi-Oh content. Check out Mr. Meows's TCG on YouTube. You got to put the YouTube channel on the front page of your YouTube channel so we can find it. I don't even know how to spell Meows's TCG. It doesn't come up. But I appreciate the 10. The bubble's about to burst. I don't think so. I think we're going to get a flash crash for Fat Tone, and then we're going to go back up again. Kind of like this. I think we go down to 90. I think we go down to $50, and then we have a retracement back up 7 to 8x. I already did. That's why you sent another 10. Wait, you sent another 10? Wait, let's see. Did he change it? Ah, there it is. Yeah, see, now everybody can see it. Oh, this guy's grinding. Hold on. Did he send me another $10? Whoa, he sent me another $10. Dude, this guy is keeping the lights on, man. Ooh, come on, baby, keep the lights on. He's keeping the lights on. Ooh, he's keeping the lights on. No! Wait, I think I accidentally... Oh, Chris did use PayPal before. Yeah, somebody tell Chris that he's got to start sending his $10 on PayPal because YouTube takes 30% and then the government takes 50% of that or 20% of that. Yeah, Chris did. Chris does use PayPal. Forgot. I appreciate the 10 from Mr. Meowsis. I'm going to start calling you Meowsis TCG. No more Crypto Meowsis. But I just want to see what pops up if I click on the video. I don't want to see what pops up on what to watch. Joe Biden. Who's this guy? Oh, it's the Rocky guy. They're making another Rocky video. Let's watch some dueling content. Oh, they even still roll the dice to see who goes first. What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be playing some Yu-Gi-Oh! With TCG. Why do you guys have the same cards? Oh, that's cool. They have an app for the life points now. Oh, this guy's beating you. Oh, he is beating you. Look. 76 to... Oh, this guy's wiping the floor with you. Oh, now it's close. Next time you duel somebody, tell them to put this so we can see it. Yeah, you want some more not financial advice? I don't know if he left the stream or not. The next time you duel somebody, tell him to put the life points somewhere where we can see it. I guess he already left the stream. I can't see the score because it's not on. You got to put it in the middle so we can see it. Because I can't see the score. You're bobbing like a stripper on a pole. No. Yeah, it is again with the Thunder Dragon. Every single time I click on a video, it's Thunder Dragon. You don't have any other cards? Yeah, you gotta put the score. Oh, yeah, you both have an app. Yeah, you got to find a way so we can see it. That's all. That's my next not financial advice. Appreciate the 20 from Mr. Meowisis. Does help a lot in times of despair. Come on, baby. We might be getting a relief rally. This is it. This is it, guys. I'm getting nervous, but I'm getting excited. Cue the Halo music. Dun, 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 dun. Dude, I know when we get up here, the chat's gonna be super toxic. Super bullish and super toxic. Dun, 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 dun. But even if we take this exact path, we only have 30 days to go down. If this ends up happening, man, it's going to be life-changing. Seriously. I have a whole new perspective this time around. We have to be 100% right. But we have our Moonboy chart. We have to stop fading the Moonboy chart. We have its power, but we're not using it correctly. We should be bearish into August. And then we should be sideways until February. And then we should top out in July, June again. And then this is the golden zone. Your chance to get rich is going to be from August of 2027 to June of 2028. You have to be out of the market by fall of 2028. This is it, boys. Best of luck to you all. But as always, appreciate the support. Stay safe. None of this is financial advice. We shall return tomorrow for more bearish propaganda. And we're getting close. We're getting close to the end. Enjoy your day. Take care. None of this is financial advice. And I'll see you soon.